Ladies and gentlemen, in a world where trends come and go, rare women stand out not because they follow the crowd, but because they embody qualities that are timeless and extraordinary. These women are not just beautiful, they are strong, intelligent, and carry a presence that leaves a lasting impact. Today I want to share with you 5 signs of a rare woman. A woman who is truly one of a kind. A rare woman does not measure her value by external factors such as social status, appearance, or the approval of others. She understands that her worth is inherent, not something that fluctuates based on opinions, relationships, or temporary circumstances. She walks through life with an unshakable sense of self, knowing that she does not need to prove herself to anyone. She does not settle for relationships, friendships, or careers that diminish her light. Instead, she surrounds herself with people who respect her, appreciate her, and encourage her growth. She knows the difference between love and attachment, between respect and mere attention. She never chases after those who fail to see her value because she understands that real connections are not forced. They are built on mutual respect and admiration. A rare woman also sets strong boundaries, knowing that self-respect is the foundation of all her relationships. She is not afraid to say no when something does not align with her values or well-being. She does not allow others to manipulate her emotions or make her feel small. Instead, she confidently asserts herself, standing firm in her beliefs and decisions. She is aware that her self-worth is not dependent on her achievements, but rather on who she is at her core. While she may strive for success and excellence, she does not define herself solely by accomplishments or material wealth. Her confidence comes from within, rooted in self-awareness, self-love, and a deep understanding of her own strengths and potential. A rare woman also embraces her flaws without letting them define her. She understands that perfection is an illusion and does not allow insecurities to control her life. Instead of seeking validation from others, she affirms herself. She does not compare herself to others because she recognizes that her journey is unique and that true happiness comes from embracing her individuality. At her core, a rare woman carries herself with grace and dignity, knowing that she is enough just as she is. Her presence alone radiates confidence, not the loud kind that demands attention, but the quiet strength that commands respect. Wherever she goes, people can sense her authenticity, her resilience, and her unwavering belief in herself. A rare woman is not just intelligent, she possesses a profound depth that sets her apart. Her wisdom is not merely acquired from books or education, but from life itself. She has experienced joy and pain, success and failure, love and loss, and through it all, she has gained insight that others often overlook. She does not rush through life on the surface, but instead she explores the deeper meanings behind her experiences, always seeking to understand herself and the world around her. She is introspective, constantly evaluating her thoughts, emotions, and actions. She asks herself important questions. What am I learning from this situation? How can I grow from this experience? What does this moment teach me about life? Unlike those who avoid self-reflection, she embraces it, knowing that wisdom comes from self-awareness and continuous growth. A rare woman is a seeker of knowledge. She is always learning, whether through books, conversations, travel, or personal experiences. She does not rely solely on formal education to shape her perspective. She understands that true wisdom comes from an open mind and a willingness to learn from everything and everyone. She listens more than she speaks because she knows that every person has a story to tell and a lesson to share. She is not easily swayed by superficial trends or fleeting opinions. Instead of being influenced by popular beliefs, she takes the time to form her own thoughts and conclusions. She questions the world around her, analyzing situations with both intellect and intuition. When faced with difficult decisions, she does not act impulsively. She thinks deeply, weighing the consequences and considering different perspectives before making a choice. Her depth is also reflected in her conversations. She does not engage in meaningless gossip or shallow discussions just to fit in. Instead, she craves deep, meaningful exchanges, discussions about philosophy, emotions, dreams, and the human experience. When she speaks, her words carry weight because they come from a place of understanding and thoughtfulness. She is the kind of person people turn to for advice, not because she has all the answers, but because she listens with empathy and responds with wisdom. A rare woman also understands that true intelligence is not just about knowledge. It is about emotional intelligence as well. She is highly perceptive, able to read between the lines and sense what others are feeling, even when they do not say it outright. She can navigate complex emotions with grace, offering comfort, perspective, and insight when needed. She does not react impulsively to situations. Instead, she processes emotions carefully, ensuring that her responses are thoughtful rather than reactionary. Most importantly, her wisdom is rooted in humility. She does not pretend to know everything, nor does she look down on those who are still learning. She acknowledges that life itself is a continuous journey of growth, and she remains open to new ideas, new experiences, and new ways of thinking. She does not seek to prove her intelligence to others. Her wisdom speaks for itself through her actions, her choices, and the way she carries herself. A rare woman is not easily swayed by external pressures or fleeting trends. She possesses a strong moral compass that guides her through life, allowing her to navigate challenges with integrity and purpose. While the world may try to convince her to compromise her beliefs for convenience, success, or social acceptance, she remains steadfast, knowing that staying true to herself is far more valuable than momentary approval. Her values are not just words but principles deeply embedded in her character. She has taken the time to reflect on what she truly believes in, whether it be honesty, kindness, justice, loyalty, or resilience, and she lives by those principles in both big and small ways. She does not adjust her morals to fit the expectations of others, nor does she bend under pressure just to make people like her. Instead, she carries herself with unwavering authenticity, ensuring that her words and actions align with what she stands for. She is not afraid to say no when something does not align with her values. In a world where people often sacrifice their principles for validation, she remains unshaken. She refuses to lower her standards to fit into places or relationships that do not respect her worth. Whether in business, friendships, or romantic relationships, she chooses integrity over convenience, even if it means standing alone. This strength of character makes her a leader rather than a follower. She does not allow societal expectations to dictate her choices. If the world tells her to be one thing, but her heart and conscience tell her otherwise, she follows her inner truth. She understands that standing firm in her values might make her unpopular at times, but she would rather be respected for who she truly is than liked for pretending to be someone she is not. A rare woman also leads by example. She does not just talk about integrity and honesty, she lives it. She treats people with kindness, not because it is expected, but because it is part of who she is. She upholds fairness, remains accountable for her actions, and takes responsibility when she makes mistakes. Her character is evident in the way she handles difficult situations. She does not betray her principles when faced with adversity, nor does she take shortcuts that would compromise her integrity. Even in relationships, she stands firm in what she believes. She does not allow others to manipulate her into situations that make her uncomfortable. If she values honesty, she demands the same in return. If she values respect, she does not tolerate anything less. She sets clear boundaries, ensuring that she is treated with the dignity and appreciation she deserves. What makes her even more admirable is that she does all of this without arrogance. She does not impose her beliefs on others, nor does she judge those who live differently. She understands that everyone is on their own journey and that growth takes time. However, she refuses to compromise who she is just to fit in. She respects differing opinions but remains rooted in what she knows to be true for herself. Her ability to stay true to her values, even in the face of criticism or temptation, is what makes her so rare. In a world where many people change their stance based on convenience, she remains a pillar of strength and conviction. A rare woman does not view life as a competition but as a journey where everyone can rise together. She understands that true strength is not in pushing others down, but in lifting them up. While many people may feel the need to compete, compare, or undermine others to feel superior, she does the opposite. She empowers those around her, helping them recognize their own worth and potential. Her generosity of spirit comes from a place of deep confidence and self-assurance. She does not feel threatened by the success of others because she knows that another person's achievements do not take away from her own. Instead of feeling envious, she celebrates the victories of others, recognizing that success is not a limited resource. She finds joy in seeing others thrive, and she actively encourages people to pursue their goals, offering support, guidance, and inspiration. She is the kind of person who sees potential in others before they even see it in themselves. When someone doubts their abilities, she reminds them of their strengths. When someone feels like giving up, she encourages them to keep going. She offers sincere compliments, recognizing effort and talent, not just for the sake of politeness, but because she genuinely believes in building others up. A rare woman does not engage in gossip, backstabbing, or tearing others down to make herself look better. She refuses to speak negatively about others because she understands that words carry power. Instead of spreading negativity, she chooses to spread kindness and encouragement. She uses her voice to uplift, whether it be through a kind word, a thoughtful gesture, or simply by being a source of support when someone needs it most. Her ability to empower others extends beyond her personal relationships. She brings this quality into her workplace, community, and every day. If she is in a leadership position, she does not hoard knowledge or power. She shares it, mentoring those around her and helping them grow. If she is part of a team, she is not focused on outshining others, but on ensuring that everyone succeeds together. She understands that true leadership is not about being the best alone. It is about bringing others along and making sure no one is left behind. She also recognizes that lifting others up does not always mean grand gestures. It can be as simple as offering a listening ear, providing words of encouragement, or giving someone the confidence to take the next step in their journey. She knows that even small acts of kindness can make a huge difference in someone's life. What makes her truly rare is that her support is genuine. She does not help others for recognition or personal gain. She does not uplift people with hidden motives or expectations of receiving something in return. Her kindness is not performative. It comes from the heart. She understands that the more she helps others shine, the more she contributes to a world filled with confidence, success, and positive energy. Her presence is often a source of comfort and motivation for those around her. People gravitate toward her because they feel seen, heard, and valued in her presence. She inspires not through loud words or empty gestures, but through the quiet consistency of her support. Whether she is helping someone chase their dreams, overcome struggles, or simply believe in themselves, her impact is felt in ways that last a lifetime. A rare woman embraces every part of who she is, her strengths, her flaws, her quirks, and her unique essence. Without seeking permission or approval from anyone, she does not shrink herself to fit societal expectations, nor does she mold her identity based on what others think she should be. Instead, she walks through life with confidence, authenticity, and the courage to be exactly who she was meant to be. She does not follow trends just to be accepted or change her opinions to please the crowd. She knows that true happiness comes from being genuine, not from conforming. Whether she is introverted or extroverted, bold or reserved, creative or analytical, she owns her personality without hesitation. She does not pretend to be something she is not to gain approval, because she understands that the right people will appreciate her for who she truly is. A rare woman is not afraid to express her true emotions. She does not suppress her joy for fear of being too much, nor does she hide her struggles to maintain an illusion of perfection. She allows herself to be vulnerable when needed, understanding that vulnerability is not weakness, but a sign of strength. She does not feel the need to wear a mask to make others comfortable. Instead, she values deep, meaningful connections that are built on honesty and authenticity. Her self-expression extends beyond personality. It is reflected in her choices, passions, and the way she moves through life. Whether it's her career path, personal style, hobbies, or beliefs, she follows what truly resonates with her soul rather than what is expected. She does not settle for a life that feels forced or unnatural. If something does not align with her inner truth, she has the courage to walk away, even if it means going against the grain. She also does not let fear of judgment dictate her actions. Society often places expectations on women, how they should dress, behave, or live their lives. But a rare woman refuses to be confined by these limitations. If she wants to pursue an unconventional career, she goes for it. If she has an opinion that differs from the majority, she speaks it with confidence. If she loves something deeply, she embraces it fully, without worrying about whether it is deemed acceptable by others. She is comfortable in her own skin. She does not compare herself to others, nor does she waste energy trying to meet impossible standards of perfection. She understands that beauty is not about fitting into a certain mold, but about embracing one's uniqueness. Whether she is dressed in high fashion or a simple outfit, whether she has a loud laugh or a soft voice, she wears her individuality like a badge of honor. A rare woman also knows that being unapologetically herself does not mean being reckless or inconsiderate. She remains kind, respectful, and open-minded, but she does not compromise who she is for the sake of making others comfortable. She understands that not everyone will accept her, and she is okay with that. She would rather be loved for who she truly is than liked for pretending to be someone else. Most importantly, she lives with a sense of freedom that is rare to find. She is not bound by societal pressures, toxic relationships, or self-doubt. She moves through life with confidence, knowing that she is enough just as she is. People admire her not because she is perfect, but because she is